When I look out and I see all the real Americans, I think about how Donald Trump, his family was compromised. When I look out there and I see Donald Trump, I think about—
What if Hulk Hogan didn't just die of cardiac arrest, but was already brain dead days before the 911 call? What if Hulk Hogan's final neck surgery triggered something far more fatal than anyone expected, and doctors knew it? What if the leaked medical report is real, and Hulk Hogan didn't just die, he was already gone long before the world was told? This is Review Daddy, and today we're diving deep into one of the most emotional, controversial, and heartbreaking mysteries of the wrestling world. Leaked hospital report: what really killed Hulk Hogan? Special thanks to all returning subscribers. You're the real champs. If you're new here, hit that like and subscribe button. We bring facts, passion, and the truth, even when it hurts. Let's dive deep now.
Enough was enough! And I said, let Trumpomania run wild, brother! Let Trump—
On July 24, 2025, the world woke up to devastating news. Terry Gene Bollea, better known as Hulk Hogan, had passed away at the age of 71. The man who body-slammed Andre the Giant, headlined WrestleMania after WrestleMania, and inspired millions with the phrase, "Say your prayers and eat your vitamins," was gone. Cause of death, according to early reports, cardiac arrest. But almost immediately, the internet exploded with rumors, leaked 911 dispatch audio, and alleged hospital reports that suggested something far deeper, darker, and more complex than a heart giving out. But wait a minute, did he really die of cardiac arrest? Let's walk through the official version of events. Around 9:51 a.m. on July 24th, paramedics were dispatched to Hogan's home in Clearwater Beach, Florida. He was found unresponsive. Emergency responders tried to revive him on site and rushed him to Morton Plant Hospital. He was pronounced dead shortly after. Authorities say there was no foul play and the case was being treated as a standard cardiac incident. But for someone who just had a neck surgery in May, who had reportedly been doing well, and who had publicly appeared healthy weeks earlier, something didn't add up. Let's be real, Hulk Hogan was a walking miracle. By 2025, the man had undergone 10-plus back surgeries, double knee replacement, multiple shoulder surgeries, dozens of hip injections, and a spine so fused, some doctors compared it to metal scaffolding. He'd taken decades of punishment inside and outside the ring. Steroids, high-risk stunts, excessive painkillers. That body was breaking down, slowly, painfully. But publicly, he kept up the superhero image. But was it all catching up at once? Some experts suggest his surgical history, nervous system pressure, and possible medication complications could have triggered cardiac failure, especially if any post-operative clots formed, a common but deadly risk after spinal fusion surgery. Before we go deeper, a quick shout out to today's sponsor, NORDVPN. Look, when it comes to uncovering stories like this, privacy is everything. Whether you're doing research, streaming old-school WWF tapes, or just keeping your data safe, NordVPN protects you from trackers, leaks, and hackers with lightning-speed servers in over 60 countries. I use NordVPN to access archived news footage, geo-blocked wrestling documentaries, and even read early medical case studies that wouldn't load in my region. Right now, Review Daddy viewers get an exclusive discount plus 4 extra months free with the link in the description. Be smart, stay private, go Nord. So, what really killed Hulk Hogan? Was it truly just cardiac arrest? Or is that just the simplest explanation for a far more complex and hidden medical disaster? Doctors say cardiac arrest can strike suddenly, yes. But in a man like Hogan, who spent 4 decades punishing his body, the heart doesn't simply fail without warning. It deteriorates quietly, painfully, from a lifetime of damage. Think about it. Hogan had well-documented neurological issues, including chronic spinal nerve compression, sleep apnea, and long-term inflammation. His neck surgery in May 2025, which fused multiple vertebrae, was already seen by some medical insiders as high risk for someone his age and history. What if that surgery weakened his autonomic nervous system, disrupting the signals that regulate heartbeat and breathing? What if he suffered a silent stroke, days before the 911 call? A stroke so subtle, it was mistaken for fatigue or recovery pain? Then there's the darker side, drug interactions. Hogan had admitted to years of heavy painkiller use, muscle relaxants, and anti-inflammatory medications just to get through his day. Add post-surgery meds and the possibility of a fatal chemical cocktail becomes chillingly real. What happens when a worn-down heart meets high-dose medication after a major surgery? Could it have been prevented, or was it inevitable? The bigger question might not be how Hulk Hogan died, but whether anyone truly tried to save him in time. Another controversial twist that's igniting fierce debate among fans: WWE's eerie silence in the immediate hours after Hulk Hogan's death. Unlike the heartfelt tributes poured out when legends like Rowdy Roddy Piper, The Ultimate Warrior, or Bray Wyatt passed, Hogan's death was met with near-total silence from the very empire he helped build. No homepage blackout, no 10-bell salute, no emotional video package, not even a tweet from Vince McMahon, the man who once called Hogan his brother-in-arms. It took nearly 12 hours for WWE to post anything official, and even then, the tone was cold, brief, clinical, as if it were a legal obligation, not a heartfelt loss. Why? What if this was more than just a delay? Some fans believe it was a deliberate distancing strategy, a quiet consequence of the 2015 racial slur scandal that temporarily erased Hogan from the Hall of Fame in company history. Others argue WWE was simply gathering verified details before speaking, but the optics were brutal. To millions, it felt like the company abandoned its founding icon in his final hour. Could it be that behind closed doors, Hogan's death reopened old wounds and internal politics the public was never meant to see? Or was WWE trying to control a narrative they feared might spiral? What else is being held back? The silence said more than words ever could. And fans, they noticed. Let's not forget, Hulk Hogan wasn't just a wrestler. He was a living mythology, a 6 feet 7 inches icon in red and yellow who made wrestling cool, mainstream, and global. A 12-time world champion, a cultural juggernaut, and the man who transformed WrestleMania from a small gimmick into a global spectacle. But behind the handlebar mustache and flexing muscles was a deeply complicated man. What if we told you the same man who packed out Madison Square Garden was also a man who lost over $25 million in one of the most brutal celebrity divorces in history? What if the guy who shouted, "What you gonna do, brother?" was privately whispering apologies in courtrooms and hospital rooms? He was a father too, to Nick Hogan, who was jailed in 2007 after a tragic street racing accident that left a close friend paralyzed. And let's not forget that infamous leaked tape, the one where racial slurs turned the hero of a generation into a pariah overnight. The WWE scrubbed him from history, sponsors vanished, fans were divided, and yet, somehow, he made a comeback. Re-inducted into the Hall of Fame, quietly working out, spending time with his new wife, Sky, trying to rebuild the Hulkamania legacy. But here's the mystery that still haunts us. What really happened in his final 48 hours? Why the silence? Why the slow response from WWE? And what if the leaked report is just the tip of something darker? The world knew Hulk Hogan as immortal. But mortality comes for us all. Or did it come too soon? So what really killed Hulk Hogan? A tired heart? Post-op complications? A lifetime of punishment in the ring? Or was it a cocktail of pain, silence, and secrets finally catching up with the immortal one? We may never know the full truth, but one thing's for sure, Hulkamania is forever. This is Review Daddy, and if you stayed till the end, you're a real one. Smash that like button, hit subscribe, and drop a yellow heart in the comments if Hulk Hogan ever inspired you growing up. Drop your thoughts. Do you believe the hospital report story? Or was it just another case of wrestling myth versus mortality? Don't forget to check out the NORDVPN deal offer in our description box and protect your digital legacy just like Hogan protected his name. Until next time, say your prayers, eat your vitamins, and watch the next video now.